I'm Jacqueline Johnson.
And I'm Marina Middleton.
And this is Work Party, a podcast that's part work and part party. Work Party celebrates a new generation of women who are redefining the meaning of work on their own terms and having fun while doing it.
In this podcast, we are diving into all the areas of being a working woman. Mind, body, and business. No topic is off limit.
Real talk and hot takes. Think of us as your internet work wives. This is Work Party,
the podcast.
Wait, where's the champagne?
Welcome back to Work Party. Today's guest got laid off from her job at Lauren Michaels' production company in 2018. Couldn't find a single financial resource that didn't make her want to fall asleep and decided to become one herself. Haley Sachs is Mrs. Dow Jones, a financial educator with over 2 million followers, a Sony podcast, Fortune 40 Under 40, and now a book called Future Rich Person, The New Rules for Building Wealth. And honestly, the subtitle is so iconic and says it all. Even if you're stuck broke and that billionaire won't text you back. Haley, welcome to Work Party.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
We're gonna have so much fun. Your content is iconic.
Oh.
If someone doesn't know who you are and what you stand for, like, what is that quick elevator pitch?
Okay, so I'm Mrs. Dow Jones, a millennial finance expert, and I use humor and pop culture to make getting rich fast and easy and fun and aspirational.
What made you start this? Like, what were you seeing the gap was?
Well, when I started to look for financial advice online for myself, I always say I'm patient zero. I was mostly finding information for women that was about making your life really small. Like, you know, you're a glamour puss. Obviously, you've got your Gucci shoes on, you've got your nails did, you've got like cool jewelry, like, you know, and I feel like in my mind, I thought that in order to grow wealth, because what we tell women is like to be smaller when it comes to money, that it meant that I was going to have to not do all those things. And then the content that was more about like investing was targeted towards men, and it was just so boring and had so much jargon. And so I was like, I want something that makes it feel aspirational to be good with money. It's so aspirational to spend money and to wear your money, but can we make it aspirational to max out your Roth IRA, to know what documents you need in case you die, to negotiate your salary? And so I didn't see that, so I became it.
And you started it in 2018.
Yeah, around then, yeah.
What do you feel like the first year actually looked like versus what it is now? Like, how has the media and the world just changed, and how has that forced you to show up differently through content?
Oh my gosh, it's changed so much. So when I started, there was like influencer culture wasn't a thing, first of all. So you know, I always see statistics about how Gen Z or, you know, younger generations, really the Gen Z want to all be influencers as like a job. That was not something that I thought of as a career to do. I really just started creating because I needed the content. And I just thought organically, okay, there's got to be other people who feel this way, who are like trying to figure out their financial lives, but are so bored and uninspired by what's out there and like don't relate to being that girl or that guy and need, you know, we need a different bucket.
Yeah.
And so when I started, it was not short video, first of all. So now everything is like these little clips. Podcast clips are a huge thing.
Yep.
Clip this.
Yeah.
That was not a thing at all. It was longer form content. So YouTube has always been around, and a lot of memes. And then putting longer form video on Instagram, 3 to 5 minutes even, no captions, like all these things that we do now. You got to have the hook. You got to have your captioning. You got to have your title, like all these SEO, you know, tricks. It really wasn't around. You sort of just had your community and your community liked your content. And I tried to show up for them every day.
I love that obviously your content has been consistent in obviously the topic that you talk about. I grew up where money was not a conversation. Like I didn't grow up learning about money because we also didn't have money. So it's like, you know,
what's there to talk about?
Yeah, what's there to talk about? Yeah, it wasn't a thing that we constantly talked about. So I love that you're consistently, obviously talking about this because everybody needs to learn it. So there's a new book.
Yes.
The subtitle of Future Rich Person is The New Rules for Building Wealth, which implies that the old rules are broken.
The old rules are broken.
What is the single biggest rule from our parents' playbook that is actively hurting people right now?
That anyone is going to give you safety besides yourself. And I even found that in my own life where, I was sort of dabbling with Mrs. Dow Jones. And then I got this full-time job working for Lorne Michaels, who started SNL at the time. I was doing a lot of comedy. And I gave up a bit of my pursuit of Mrs. Dow Jones. This was like in 2017. It was a really soft idea at the time, but, something I was thinking about because I had the idea in my head that, okay, I'm at a company now, they're going to take care of me. So I'm going to be there forever. They're going to, sign my checks for the rest of my life. And all I have to do is like be a good girl. And that's going to lead to, getting the Nancy Meyers kitchen and all the wealth that I want in the world. And I think we saw that for our parents. Like my dad has been at the same job for 40 years.
Yep.
And for our generation, it's so much more choose your own adventure, which is really cool when it comes to things, I think, especially for women, like choice, like having the ability to have kids later. Like, there's like a record number of women in their 40s having children now, which I think is amazing because it's like your 30s are such a peak earning time. And a lot of women get taken out of the workforce. I feel like it really contributes to the wealth gap. But also staying at a job for a long time, job hopping can be really helpful. Although, of course, now the economy is a bit in the crapper. Yep. So if you're getting paid and you're learning, those are two things that are really important. So I wouldn't say, in the pandemic, it was such a thing to job hop, but just we're in a different world.
I read this stat, and I don't remember the stat, but I remember reading it, was that women, when they started businesses, the first thing that they would do is hire a CFO because they didn't want to learn about the finance. They didn't want to like understand it. And, when they get married, it's like, oh, I don't do the finances. My husband will focus on it. Do you think that has changed in this new like generation that we're in? Like, do you feel like more women are like owning their financial freedom and wanting their own financial freedom? Or do you think that it's still...
I think it has definitely shifted. I feel like, even like there's that book, Strangers. She was on my podcast. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
There's this book going viral right now, this memoir that's being turned into a movie by Netflix. Gwyneth Paltrow is going to be in it. And the woman in the memoir is completely like financially illiterate. Like she gives up, even though she comes into the marriage with more money, she gives up all the financial control to the husband. And of course, a lot of things happen in the book. It's a really good book. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
But what I've noticed is that it's really taken the world by storm. Like whenever I was at a baby shower this weekend, everyone was talking about it. I was at a girls' dinner last week, people were talking about it. And I think what's cool is like now we have so much access to culture, like whether it be on your phone where you're seeing like videos like mine that are teaching you about money, or we have these narratives in the culture that we can use as mirrors to reflect back on ourselves, so that what's normal is to be in control of our finances versus the normal being like, oh, I'm doing girl math and like my husband, like, I don't know where the bodies are buried and like la-di-da, So we have to normalize and make it aspirational to be in control because it's a business decision. Yes, Strangers is so good.
Okay, I will read it. You cover making more money, getting out of debt, investing, taxes, and putting your finances obviously on autopilot. That is a lot to cover in one book.
Yes.
What was the hardest chapter that you were writing and why?
I think the hardest chapter that I wrote was maybe Secure the Damn Bag, which is such a great chapter. It's really one of my favorites because I really look at money as abundant. And I love to encourage people to think about, okay, how can we add more versus cutting back? Because a lot of times it's a lot easier to find a way to make another $1,000 or $10,000 than it is to find another subscription to cut or, resell that thing. We look so much at finances through scarcity, but I want to encourage people to look at it through abundance, but then also understanding the world that we live in. Like I write in that chapter, I think I say record, scratch, freeze frame. Yeah, it's me. I can't believe that I'm a financial expert telling you to make more money. Like, duh, like it can feel so obvious, but I don't think that people realize how much is out there for them if they ask for more, if they really work on improving their skills, building their human capital. I think there's so much opportunity now with AI for people to like really take charge with that and become like experts in AI in their companies. And then, you're going to get paid more. Like there's always ways to increase your income. And so I think doing that in a way that was also cautious of the economic environment that we're in, between high inflation, the job market being really tough, the housing market being tougher, like, all these factors that are tough, that are hard.
Yeah. For someone who is currently broke, I know you gave some advice right now, or in debt, and convinced that wealth is just like not for them. Because I love that you talk about money and like abundance. What is the very first thing in this book that they should actually do?
Well, there's a few things. First of all, like I will say that with any financial advice, like it's really easy to give it. I mean, not easy to give it, but like, I can tell you everything to do, but if you don't figure out what's holding you back and work on your money psychology and money mindset, then nothing that I teach you will stick. So I would really just start. And the first chapter in the book is Ibiza, a trip to Ibiza, which is my money mindset program. And it walks you through the exact steps that you need to take to sort of figure out, where does your money trauma and story come from? What do you want to change? Here are like action steps that you can take to make those changes. And so that's really important. But then beyond that, I would say getting an $1,000 emergency fund as fast as you can in a high yield savings account. Yes, even if you have debt. And then scheduling a money date, which is a set time for you to review your finances and take inventory of where you're at, because what you don't track will never grow.
I love that so much. I have a 10-year-old, and I feel like having a 10-year-old has covered some of this money trauma or money mindset that I had growing up. And so interesting. I can't wait to read that chapter, because I feel like that's a big part of like how I talk about money and how I think about money and how like what type of anxiety or like my nervous system spikes.
100%.
When certain things happen.
Yeah.
I love that.
Your triggers.
Yeah, my triggers.
They're set by the time you're 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like you really do have to unpack them. The same way if you wanted to heal anything in your life, like you had an addiction problem, or, you're always getting into the same kind of relationship, like the solution is not to like get in more relationships. It's to like take a step back and say like, why am I making this decision? So people have to look at money the same way that they look at their physical fitness or their mental fitness as something that you have to, build from the ground up.
Yeah. Your whole brand is built on this idea that you can be good with money and still enjoy your life.
Yes.
But with inflation and student debts and housing and all of that stuff, what do you think about like a lot of women feeling like the math just doesn't work? Like they can't have those two things?
Look, they're not wrong. Like, since 2000, prices have increased 67% to 2024, but wages have only increased 7%. So it's not a joke that our money is going less far than it ever has. And that can be really, really tough. But I think that the best thing to do in that situation is really to take a step back and review your spending and figure out like, what do you really value? Because you can have anything, but you can't have everything. And then I would say also figuring out how you're making money, because something that I think we need to get rid of, especially as women, is sunk cost fallacy. So when we are in, situations where we're not getting paid enough, but we stay for too long because we have loyalty. Unless you own the company, which I love that, like seek ownership always, but unless you own the company, keep it moving, because you need to be seeing your wages increase unless you're in a situation where you're learning a lot and you're getting an amazing experience. Like, if someone graduated from college and asked me like, should you work at a startup or should you work at this like big name, like brand company? I would say work at the name brand company, because you're going to learn more. And also that's going to pad your resume. So some jobs are for different reasons, but depending on where you're at in life, you just sort of figure that out.
Well, right now, obviously, this whole girl math is trending, and you have been, very publicly against it.
No, I'm the enemy of the girl math state.
Yeah, like how do you think that's damaging how we think about money as women and just like younger generation and all of that? What is like what triggers you the most about girl math?
Oh my God, I literally have a whole page in my book where I write like all the social media tropes that are girl mathy and like so dangerous. Like there's one where a woman is like playing a prank on her husband, and the prank is that she says that she's going to pay the mortgage. I'm like, LOL, like, where's the joke? Like, I don't get it. Okay, punchline, never. And so I don't think that it's cute to be clueless. Like, why do we want to present ourselves as helpless? Girl math, it just makes it trendy and cool to be tricking ourselves with our finances. But the only way to actually become a future rich person is to be honest with your finances and to be like, moving forward.
The finance industry, I think sometimes intimidates me, even though like I remember like raising money for Create and Cultivate and being in these investor rooms and all. And I'm like, I don't know if I fit here. I mean, I didn't fit in.
That's your superpower.
And I've definitely leaned into it now. I think like 2.5 years in, I'm like, listen, I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm building and I'm very confident about that. But you're self-taught. You don't have a finance degree or a Wall Street background, and you are obviously like clear about that. How do you still feel like you hold authority in space where you don't have those credibilities or credentials?
Through hard work and education. Like I do think that like preparation, like dunks on any degree, or any like past, resume. But I also think that I wouldn't be able to do what I do now, how I do it, if I hadn't first gone on my journey through comedy. Because it's such a big part of how I communicate and like how I create media. And so, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I also I like to be really lighthearted about money. So if I was in a room where people were making me feel intimidated, I think that I would just probably use humor, which is my superpower, to take the air out of that room and to bring it back down to earth.
I love that.
Yeah, and I'm really well read. I'm really well read. I look at myself as a fiduciary, and that's why people trust me, why I've been in the game for so long. It's because I'm not wrong. My advice is never wrong. I'm never people always, interview question I got all the time is, how there's so much financial advice on the internet. How do you know what's right or what's, what you can trust? And it's yeah, most of it is scammy, but there's a few of us who are doing educational content in a really clear, but also, educated way. And so I think that's also part of it is the work precedes you.
You have millions of people that follow you. I mean,
it's a pressure. You have to do well by them.
Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, you're right. You kind of owe it to them and owe it to show up. I love that you infuse comedy in it because, again, money can be really, really uncomfortable for people. What is something that you are genuinely still working on in your own finances? And what does it feel like to have that vulnerability when your whole brand is focused on financial confidence?
Well, first of all, the last part of my book, I talk about the fact that, okay, here's everything that you should do, right? This is Future Rich Person is a one-stop shop. If you want a book that a finance book that you'll actually be able to finish because it's so funny. There's so many celebrity references. There's all my salacious stories, growing up on the Upper East Side and doing comedy and it's fun to read. It's really a page turner. But the last chapter, even though I give you all these clear action steps, is about, hey, yes, these are all the right answer, but I might not do this all the time. But as long as I'm getting 70% of this right and I have my systems down, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm certainly not day trading. I never have been in credit card debt. I'm always looking to have that action money, which is money left over after I make money and have, paid for my expenses so that I can put it to work. But, I fall victim, of course, to consumerism. I have a weird cellulite thing that someone sold me, a wooden paddle.
The wooden thing, yeah.
Yeah, the wooden freaking paddle. I bought it, never used it. Couldn't tell you if it works. What about I used to take boxing and I would always forget my wraps. I have about 12 different wraps for boxing. Lip gloss. The lipstick is a recession indicator for a reason because people always want, that $12 to $30 range, which is TikTok Shop as well, by the way. They've hit that price point as well. So easy to say yes to. I'm always buying a new lip gloss. These little ticks are also Birkins. I mean, I have a Birkin. I never wear it anymore, really. There's no resale value in it, and it's so heavy, to be honest. But
I'm dying for a Birkin.
Oh, we'll sell you mine.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was. But it's why do you really want it? Do you want it because you really love the bag, or do you want it to show people that you're successful enough to buy that bag?
I think that.
Yeah, and that's But it's good. And that's okay. But it's okay, we need to know that, and it's something that I constantly work through. I mean, clothing is really the hardest thing for me because I just love clothing. And I have not, even though I know we're supposed to build a capsule wardrobe, I still love like a new tag feeling.
Yeah. I mean, also your outfit is iconic.
Thank
I'm
you.
like, when we think of capsule, I'm like, I'm the worst. I'm always in black or like
No, but capsule's good because
yeah.
it's like I'm wearing a bright blue dress. Like people are going to remember this dress.
No, I love it.
But it's not easy to rewear this.
Future Rich Person just came out.
I know. I can't believe it.
What do you want someone to walk away with from this book that they can actually do differently?
I want them to walk away with, I say in the book, I am your financial dominatrix. Like your job is to make more than you spend and then create that action money. And if you can't do that, there's steps in there to get you to that place, whether it's, figuring out your spending habits or we have to, get you out of debt, whatever these things are. But then my job is to tell you exactly what steps to take. So I don't want there to be any confusion because it's actually really easy to build a very healthy and easy financial life to manage. Yeah. You just need to create your systems. So I want them to take that. And I also want them to take this idea that it's just not that hard. That it can be we can be lighthearted about our finances. We can be glamorous, even though we're being good with money. And we can, have it all.
I'm so excited to read it. I just feel like you break it down in a way that's so digestible and not scary. So I'm ready for it. Let's do a rapid fire question.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun. Okay. Biggest money mistake of your 20s in one sentence.
The Louis Vuitton bag I bought on eBay after I got my first check. That is definitely fake. And then I couldn't pay my rent.
Perfect. Best thing you have ever bought with Mrs. Dow Jones money?
Vacations.
Okay. Invest or pay off debt first?
Oh my God, pay off debt. As long as the debt is over 7%.
Okay. Most intimidating chapter to write in Future Rich Person?
Maybe budgeting. Not that it was intimidating, but it's just there was so much to cover. And the book is so easy to understand. It is a page turner. So it was all about, okay, I know all of this information. How am I going to make it snackable and fun for someone to read this and them not shut down and be like, I never want to do that. So, that was really the hardest part. It wasn't, yeah.
Okay. Warren Buffett calls. What is the first thing you ask him?
What are you wearing?
Dad. Where can people find you?
MrsDowJones.com. I also host Financial Tea Podcast. And yeah, my book, Future Rich Person, is out. If you're listening, you're probably an audiobook person. So get the audiobook. I did it. I read it. It's so fun. It comes with all these workbooks and extras. And, this is all it takes is one finance book to change your life. And I've seen it in my own life. That's where all my financial literacy came from, started from, has grown from, is through reading financial books. I really do think that they are a gold mine. So this is one to really keep on your bookshelf, read, highlight, dog ear.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Please keep doing all the things that you're doing. We're here for it. Everybody needs to be following you. You're hilarious. You were so funny. Thanks for coming to Work Party.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Work Party. If you like what you heard, follow, leave a review, rate the pod, or slide into our DMs.
Check out the different ways you can create and cultivate on our website, createcultivate.com. From retreats and masterminds to our summits and festival.
We have different experiences to support you through your entrepreneurial journey from launch
to legacy.
Follow us at Create Cultivate on all platforms. And don't forget, work hard.
Party on.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.